This video will be reviewing some of the features and functionality of the Valet call button system. The Valet call button system is just one of a number of products that we offer to regular and dine-in cinemas. Other products are operations and management reporting, mobile loyalty application development, and digital signage solutions. But this video will be focusing on the call button system. The call button system provides cinemas a customer service tool that allows their guests to silently press a call button, which will immediately alert staff when they require service. The call buttons are installed in the recliner face or on the tabletop. When the customer presses the call button, it will immediately be displayed on a monitor, which is usually installed in the server station, kitchen expo, or management office. The call button dashboard is one of the most important tools that your food service staff will use to manage their workflow. Since the call button dashboard is integrated into other theater systems such as point of sale, it contains a lot more information than just service statistics. We'll go into a lot more detail later, but as you can see, we integrate in with a food and beverage system so that we can show the active order, the ticket system so we can show which seats are occupied, unoccupied, whether they placed a food order, as well as other statistics and information that we show at the bottom. Depending on your particular install and service contract, some of the features that we'll be reviewing today may not be available on your screens. Contact your Valet service rep to get more information on what is included in your package. The call button dashboard has 4 distinct sections. The top section are the active movie details. The middle section contains all the call button activity and alerts. The bottom sections will have statistics and an overview of your entire cinema operations. We will first go over the active movie details section at the top of the call button dashboard. The active movie details section contains information about that movie and some of the other details that we pull from the point of sale systems. For example, it shows the auditorium that is currently in focus, the movie that is playing, a status bar which shows where the progress of the movie is in that particular set. If you have a VIP program, the number of vouchers that are used, the movie runtime, occupancy, and if you click on the actual movie title, you can get details about the next showing. The progress bar will change color depending on the state of that movie. For example, 30 minutes pre-show will show the status bar as orange. So if you see here, the current time is 4:04 and the movie starts at 4:30. So we're at the very beginning of the pre-show, so we're only going to show a portion of the transition. This will continue to fill up as the pre-show gets closer and closer to the posted start time. Again, we pull this from the point of sale and ticket system. If the movie is in progress, you'll notice that the status bar will continue to grow as well. This shows that the movie is almost halfway into the movie. This gives contextual information and details to your food service staff so they can glance at the call button screen and at any point know where the movie is. This can also help them for different service alerts that we provide through the day. If it's cleaning, we'll add a 30-minute cleaning period. Again, in this particular case, the movie ended at 3:59 and it's 4 o'clock, so the movie just ended. So we just started the status bar, and it's going to continue to progress for 30 minutes after the posted stop time of the movie. Blue is another indication that just shows that you're in between sets. So you're after cleaning, but you're before the pre-show. Maybe you have a little bit of a gap before the movie starts and your 30-minute pre-show kicks in. Now let's jump over to a real call button screen so that we can see the status bar in action. If you see here, we're in Dine-In 3. The current movie is Captain Marvel. Here's the runtime and the occupancy that we pull from the point of sale system. If you notice, this particular showing is pre-show because the status bar is yellow. The current time is 5:08 and the posted start time of this set is 5:15. So you can notice that the current status bar is about 3/4 of the way full and continuing to full, indicating to your food service personnel that this movie is about to start. Here's an example of a movie that's in progress. If you notice, this status bar is almost complete. That's because the current time is 5:15 and the posted runtime is from 3:15 to 5:30, so in about 15 minutes this movie will end. Once it reaches 5:30, it will transition from green over to red, which indicates, again, cleaning in progress. The next section we're going to be reviewing is the call button activity and alerts. This is the section where the majority of the call button information will be displayed on the call button dashboard. This screen shows 4 active call buttons. When a customer has been waiting less than 3 minutes, the seat will be green. After it goes to 3 minutes, but before 5 minutes, it will transition to yellow. After the customer has been waiting 5 minutes, the seat turns red. All of the active call buttons will be listed on the right-hand side of the screen. They will be placed in order of wait time from longest wait to shortest wait. So in this example, you'll see that C2 has been waiting 5 minutes and 17 seconds, C4 3 minutes and 28 seconds, which is a yellow call button, and the 2 green call buttons are B5 and D6. Other service events and information is also displayed on the right-hand side of the screen. Information such as orders that have been placed, reminding servers that they need to put them in the point of sale system, calls for managers to go visit a customer, or other service events that are timed depending on the runtime of the movie. Here is a zoomed in section of the call button dashboard. Activities and alerts are indicated by a series of icons and colors. For example, if the customer placed an order using their mobile phone either pre-show or during the show, that seat will change to a mobile phone. We will also have a visual indication of VIP members that are in your auditoriums. If a customer has had consistent poor service, which could be a combination of long wait times or multiple call presses, we'll put a gold ring around that seat. An unsold ticket indicator icon shown with a ticket with a red bar going through it will show if a customer has placed an order but they don't have a legitimate ticket on that seat, which is reconciled against the point of sale system. For example, if a food order is placed on a seat, we'll represent that seat with a fork and knife icon. Now let's go over to the demo so we can show some live examples of what we just saw. Each auditorium is represented by a series of seats that matches your ticket system. If you notice here, 26 out of the 41 seats are sold. We indicate a sold seat by a colored seat. If it's transparent, that means this particular seat is unsold. If a food order is placed against a seat, there's a fork and knife icon. But if we show a ticket with a bar through it, that basically says that these 2 seats have a food order, but the ticket system does not show them having valid sold seats. It could be as simple as when they first purchased their tickets, they were assigned these 3 seats in the front row. But they see that these were open and they moved up. They placed the food order, but our system caught the fact that they're not supposed to be sitting here, they're sitting down here. Or it could even show that your food servers need to check if they have valid tickets because maybe they snuck into the movie. Seat E7 just went from yellow to red, so they've been now waiting for 5 minutes and 14 seconds, and as you can see, the red indication is an alert that says that that server needs to go attend to them as soon as possible. If you notice, seat E7 is still red and they've been waiting 8 minutes and 17 seconds. That actually triggered a service alert. So now we not only have a red call button, we have a red ring around that seat to indicate that they've been waiting longer than they need to and they've had consistent poor service. So even after that call button has been responded to, the service issue still stays on that seat. So this is an indication again for management to maybe go and talk to that server or go up to that customer after the show stops so that they can maybe give them a voucher or something else to apologize for poor service. Clicking on a seat with a poor service indication will give more information about that service. In this case, their average wait time is 11 minutes and 34 seconds, and the server is Marcus. So as a manager, it lets you go up to Marcus and question him as to why this seat has had poor service. If a guest has opened a food ticket with more than just themselves, maybe they brought their family, when you click on that particular seat, it actually shows the 3 seats that are on that ticket. Here's an example of a customer that has a split food ticket. At first glance, it looks like this seat has a food order and it's just themselves. But if you click on the seat, you'll see that it actually includes 2 additional seats that are over on the other side of the aisle. This may be that that particular person is sitting here, but they're also paying for these people. Maybe their kids are sitting with their friends, but he wants to sit in the corner where he doesn't have to be bothered. If that guest is a member of your VIP program, we bring up even more information. When you click on that seat, we bring up a snapshot of the member profile as well as a summary of their current visit. Let's go back to the live demo to show an example of this. This particular seat has a star next to it indicating that they are a VIP member. When you click on the VIP member's seat indicated by the star, it brings up a snapshot of that member profile. It will list the member's name, information about their point history, some highlights like when they visited last, as well as a voucher history of when they redeemed any vouchers that were given to them. This information can be used so that your food servers or management can walk up to this person and greet them by name so that they feel truly like a VIP member. To the right of the screen, you'll see information about their current visit, which includes a snapshot of their food and drink order, as well as whether or not they redeemed any vouchers that particular showing. There's also an option if that food server wishes to recall a manager to this seat. Maybe Mr. Steele has had an issue and they want to take it up with a manager. Instead of getting on the radio and trying to find the manager, you can simply press the manager requested screen button and it will pop up on the call button dashboard that a manager is requested to Auditorium 1, Seat D1. In order to dismiss this, a manager will have to see this. It doesn't matter which screen they're on, it's going to be persistent across all the different screens. Before they walk up to that seat, they have to manually go in and turn this off, otherwise it stays on the screen. This is just one example of the type of information that we can display about that member's profile. Depending on your VIP program, we can display other information about that member. For example, their favorite food or beverage, guest notes that could indicate some allergies, recent reviews, or voucher history. Clicking on the VIP button in the bottom right hand corner will quickly identify the quantity and seats that have redeemed a voucher. This can be especially useful if you're trying to audit when vouchers are being redeemed in an auditorium. This indicates that this particular seat has already redeemed one of the vouchers for that day. Clicking on the Show Events tab will bring up a list of all the events for that showing as well as the next showings after. We pull this information from the point of sale system so we know when the movies start and stop as well as when to show different events in the middle of the showing, such as when to drop checks, clean bathrooms, or other service events that you desire to program. So for example, in Dine in 10, if I want a status of where I am in the movie, I can click Show Events and it actually shows some of the indications that are coming up so that your servers know where they are in that particular showing. If I click over to Dine in 5, I'll see that it's time to drop checks. This is indicated by the runtime of the movie and can be programmed depending on when your last call is. Next, I'll be going through a number of on-screen scenarios where your servers can follow best practices to provide the best service to their customers. If an alcoholic beverage has been purchased, it will also show on the right-hand side of the call button dashboard. In this case, a pecan porter has been ordered for seat I-18. This could be for a number of purposes. First being indication that there is an alcoholic beverage, so if there's minors sitting next to them or nearby, it can show that the server and the management team that their alcohol is being served. The other reason could just be to remind that server that there's a beer order placed, and if there's a call button on, there's probably going to want a refill, especially since it's about halfway a little bit towards the end of the movie. So basically what they want, maybe just want last call, so it'll shorten the service visit by walking up to that person knowing that they have a pecan porter in the pipeline, that they may need another one. Your call button dashboard will show activity across all of your different auditoriums. In the auditorium section, you're going to see indications of all the different activity in every auditorium. So for example, in Auditorium 8, you have a single call button that's been waiting 1 minute and 34 seconds. Dine-In 10 has a call button that's been waiting for 3 minutes and 42 seconds. And Dine-In 4 has 2 call buttons. Your food servers use these indications to help prioritize where they need to be. No matter which auditorium is in focus, you'll see activity going on in other auditoriums. So if it's a not very busy Monday afternoon and Auditorium 4 is on the other side of the complex and I'm working Auditorium 4, but I also have assignments to 1, 2, and 7, I can see there that there's active call buttons. So the monitor that's placed in that station, all I have to do is touch on screen 1 and see what's going on 1 or 7, and notice that 7 has 3 call buttons going on, so I better get over to 7 as soon as possible. In this auditorium, we have 3 active call buttons and a service issue. So the server first needs to attend to seat E7, which is yellow because they've been waiting 4 minutes and 29 seconds, possibly followed up with either checking back in with this person who has a service issue, and that is seat E4, and they've been waiting for 6 minutes and 4 seconds at one point, and then we have 2 green call buttons showing that they've only been waiting 2 minutes and 54 seconds, so they can probably wait. Screen 7 has 3 active call buttons. As you can see, 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 green. It's a perfect example of where you have service issues, but it does give a priority as to where that server needs to go first. They should first take care of E7, then float over to F1, and then G5 last. There's also a service issue in this auditorium that's persistent. It's considered a service issue because it is a pulsing gold ring. If I click on that seat, it actually shows what their service is. So even after these call buttons go off, management will still have an indication that this is a poor service customer and maybe they need to go and make a visit or have a talk with that server. And first, looking at this particular screen, there's a number of things that are going on that's going to help your service staff manage their workflow. You have 3 call buttons, an indication that they need to drop checks as well as service issues. Auditoriums are graded based on a letter. This is a combination of service statistics as well as food per cap so that we can show a visual indication to both the servers as well as management how that particular auditorium is performing in whole. In this case, you have a number of A grades, which is great, but you also have one auditorium that's a B, and if you see this arrow going down, that means it's trending down. That means there is some service issue in this auditorium that needs to be attended to, and it's trending down. So there's a consistent poor service happening in this particular auditorium, which may be an indication for management to be sent over or redirect staff so that they can help Auditorium 7. Auditorium 10 is an example of where there used to be service issues, but the trend is going up. If you notice here, it just popped up on Auditorium 7 that it went from a B back to an A and it's trending up. That basically means that the service has improved since the indication was first shown. The statistics section at the bottom left-hand side of the call button dashboard will show 3 different indications. Call button statistics, which include average wait time, longest wait time, call button requests that day, and running total. Food and drink statistics, which includes orders placed, revenue, per cap, and repeat orders, and other information such as guests who have not placed an order or labor statistics. Each auditorium will have its unique statistics shown. In this case, Auditorium 1 has a 1 minute and 14 second average call button wait time with a longest wait of only 1 minute and 16. But if you can see, there's only been 2 requests. If you jump over to Auditorium 2, they have an 8 minute and 42 second wait time with a longest wait of 11 minutes. You can use this information to determine which auditorium has better service. The Food and Drink tab will show a running total of the food and drink orders as well as a calculation of the per cap. You can use this information to compare per caps of different auditoriums and maybe challenge your servers that they need to push appetizers and desserts because their per cap is lower. So for example, in Dine-In 1, the per cap is $15.78, but Dine-In 2, there's only a $9 per cap. It could be other things such as maybe that movie is a G-rated movie versus an R-rated and there's less alcohol, but anyhow it gives you an indication of what the running totals are as well as per cap for every auditorium, and you can make adjustments accordingly. The last section in the statistics area shows information about your current labor. It gives the labor percentage, the number of employees clocked in, sales per labor hour, etc. It also gives an indication of the number of seats that have not placed a food order. This can be used by the kitchen to help predict when food orders will be placed. The main call button dashboard screen is only one of many screens that can be accessed through the pull-down menu on the right side under the clock. So for example, we have another screen that shows the service summary. This is a view of the entire theater operations on a single screen. The screen is useful because it can show not just the call buttons that are on, but also statistics and information about every showing all on a single screen. So your management or food service or even kitchen staff can use this as a planning tool to get a snapshot of the entire theater. In this case, we have 2 auditoriums that are now seating. We have 2 red call buttons and a green call button. We can also see the progress of every single show, as well as the runtime and occupancy. So I know that in Auditorium 5, I have 69% occupancy. Here's my total tab, my runtime, and Captain Marvel is playing. At the bottom of the summary screen, it shows the next showing, so it can give your servers and management an indication what's happening next after this set is over. They can use this to make adjustments to staffing or to possibly send people home if they know that their occupancy in later sets are going to be low. Other screens could be a list of all the active call buttons that you have, a snapshot of statistics, which gives each auditorium the call button and food and drink, service issues that you have across all your different auditoriums, or other important messages that need to be shown. This screen is also a list of all pre-movie or in-movie orders that were placed by customers with their mobile phones. If you can see here, Auditorium 1 seat C6 purchased a Miller Lite and the specific time when they purchased it and whether or not that was entered into the point of sale system. The show listing screen is a snapshot view of all the different movies across all your auditoriums throughout the day. It also shows indication of occupancy so that you can flag when you may need to adjust staff. In this case, this has 80% occupancy, so the 7 o'clock showing of The Hustle in screen 6 is the highest occupancy of all your movies showing that day. We hope that this overview and demonstration has provided you some valuable information as to how our call button system works. The call button system is just one of many products that we offer. You can experience an interactive demo of this call button dashboard at any time, accessible through our website. Just click on Push for Service on the home page or follow the link below. If you have any questions about this overview or would like more information about our products and services we offer, please contact us using any of the methods below.